Main man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. So we seen the press conference, man. Demetrius Andrade versus my main man, Billy Joe Saunders, man. Looking to be a good fight. Two good outboxers right here, man. Two men that didn't run away from each other. The most beautiful thing about this fight is that you got Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, two rival promoters in the UK, doing business together and making a fight come together, man, with no hesitation, man. That's the beautiful thing about this particular fight. Now, this is a WBO ordered fight. For those who don't know, this fight is for Billy Joe Saunders' WBO title. Man, this is going to be one hell of a fight, man. You got the tall, rangy Demetrius Andrade standing at 6'1", with, you know what I'm saying, with that long reach, man. Good outboxer versus Billy Joe Saunders. The speed, the technique, the razzle, the dazzle. Both men bring some good things to the ring, man. But first off, man, what was up with Demetrius Andrade's outfit at the press conference today? Man, coming that joint looking like Pierre Lafont or somebody, man. I was like, yo, this dude look wild, man. This dude got the puffed up wrist things, man, with the sleeves gone, man. I'm like, what the hell is this dude? This dude clearly ain't got no homies to tell him, man, take that shit off, bruh. Real talk, man. But clearly, man, yo, he was trying to draw some attention to himself, draw some attention to this fight, man. You seen they had like an outdoor press conference, man. That was actually kind of nice, man. So they was taking a lot of shots at each other at the press conference. You know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But yo, the jokes that Billy Joe Saunders was laying on Demetrius Andrade, though, that had me rolling, though, son. I mean, I was laughing my ass off, man. Funny dude, man. But yeah, man, this is going to be an interesting fight, good clash of styles right here. That's what makes it a beautiful thing. Now, when you think about Demetrius Andrade, the thing that comes to mind, I wonder sometimes, like, I always wonder, is Demetrius Andrade scared of being outboxed? It's like whenever he approaches a very good boxer, you know what I mean? It's like he kind of get a little hesitant. I take this back down to 154 when he won that WBA regular title, and we all thought he was going to possibly fight Andrade Lara, but when it was time for him to fight Lara, Demetrius Andrade ran up to 160. Now, usually that wouldn't be no problem. You know, a fighter, if he feels as though he can't make the weight no more, if he's struggling to make the weight, they go up in weight, right? But then Demetrius Andrade come up to 160 and then says, oh, I got to grow into the weight. Oh, I got to put on more muscle. So it's like, what? But then you get in there with Atlantes Fox, no hesitation. You get in there with, who was the other guy he fought? Somebody else he fought at 160 with no hesitation. And then when it came to Billy Joe Saunders, when the first time around, he was like, nah, he wasn't ready. You know what I mean? But then you think like, well, Billy Joe Saunders is not the most powerful puncher. He's more of a technique fighter. He works on speed, he works on technique and things like that. So, you know, why is it that you ain't ready to swell up to Billy Joe Saunders? I mean, not the hardest puncher in the world, you know what I mean? But it reminds me the same way with Andrade Lara, man. They both are very, very good boxers, you know? So is Demetrius Andrade, does he have second guesses himself against, you know, very overly skilled boxers? Now, Andrade said he wanted to put on more muscle. I've been looking at a lot of his training regimen, and he has been, you know, seemingly getting himself a little more bigger, getting himself a little more chiseled, putting on a little bit more muscle, you know what I'm saying? But I'm wondering if this is going to translate into the ring, because Demetrius Andrade ain't the most powerful fighter himself, you know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, is he looking to approach this fight from a more powerful standpoint and look to maybe sit down more on his punches and not maybe even box so much? Maybe he's just willing to concede the fact that Billy Joe Saunders will be possibly the better boxer that night. But maybe Demetrius Andrade is going to look in there, come and hit him with the more cleaner, harder shots. You know what I mean? So Demetrius Andrade take this fight now. I don't know. Clearly, he must feel as though he's ready. He didn't seemingly run away from this fight, but it's funny how he had to take care of this thing once he got everything settled with Eddie Hearn, and maybe this is something that Hearn says, yo, man, this is a big fight for you going down overseas, and, you know, we can put the press conference here in America. We could do a press conference in the UK. We can really make this thing big. So, you know, it's a good opportunity for Billy Joe Saunders to get a world title at 160 pounds and basically let his presence be felt, man. But we'll see how he works with that. But as for Billy Joe Saunders, man, I ain't got nothing but, you know, love for what Billy Joe Saunders does in that ring, man. What he did against David Lemieux was beautiful, man. David Lemieux is a powerful puncher, you know what I mean? David Lemieux likes to sit down on his punches. But you seen what happened in that instance, man. Billy Joe Saunders boxed the man's ears off, Joe. I mean, inside, outside, in, out, razzle dazzle, the head movement couldn't be touched. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the best Billy Joe Saunders fights that I had probably seen since the Probably since the Andy Lee fight, I gotta honestly say, man, Billy Joe Saunders looked, man, good in that fight. And the good thing about Billy Joe now is that Frank Warren has been really kind of keeping Billy Joe busy. And that was one of the things of the past that Billy Joe Saunders accuses his handlers of not doing, not keeping him busy enough. So, you know, he's now feeling more inspired. He's now feeling more busy. And he's feeling like, you know, he's ready to get in there and do these fights. And he's keeping himself in good condition. One of the things that Billy Joe Saunders has been dogged out with in the past is not keeping himself in good condition between fights. Like when he approached that Akavov fight and damn near lost that fight, you know what I mean? So Billy Joe Saunders seemed to be taking on a newfound attitude towards boxing because he stays in good shape between fights now. He rolls a lot with his homeboy Tyson Fury. You know, him and Tyson Fury like to do a lot of stuff, man. But Billy Joe Saunders has always been like a little menace. He's like the Dennis the Menace of boxing, Joe. Just like last week, remember he was accused of throwing a piece of chicken at Deontay Wilder shit at Nando's, you know what I mean? So Billy Joe Saunders has always been like the menace of boxing. Hey, yo, the way he ran up out of that restaurant, man, I was on the floor laughing, Joe. But Billy Joe Saunders, when it comes to in the ring, man, he is definitely one of the creme de la creme of the 160-pound division. And this fight is going to be very, very interesting, man. Now, I think the winner of this fight should definitely take on the winner of the Danny Jacobs versus Deryevchenko fight, man. Given that Danny Jacobs now fights for Eddie Hearn, and we see Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren right now seemingly not having a problem with making fights, and they're not having a problem with even putting some of the fight, because I believe this fight is going down on the DAZN, right? So they don't seem to have problems doing fights on DAZN. So, I mean, who knows, man? It's always good to see not a bunch of polished shit is not interfering with fights like this. So hopefully the winner of this fight go on and take on the winner of Danny Jacobs and Deryevchenko, and we can get us a unified champion out of this whole debacle here, man. So this is kind of cool, man. This is kind of cool indeed. Billy Joe Saunders has already signaled after this fight, if Canelo and Triple G don't want to get in the ring, he's going to smack at Danny Jacobs. And I'm sure Demetrius Andrade, given that he boxes on the same side of the street as Danny Jacobs, then, you know, he ain't gonna have no problem with taking that fight either. There will be no, I repeat, no polished shit pretty much impending that fight, other than the fact that I believe Danny Jacobs is still fighting on HBO, if I'm not mistaken. But I believe he's like on his last fight with HBO with this Deryevchenko fight. And if Eddie Hearn can keep him in house, man, he'll be possibly looking to put him on DAZN. But that'll be a very, very good unification fight. And if that goes down, ladies and gentlemen, then we're gonna have to start having a little bit of a different conversation about DAZN. I'm not ready to have that conversation right now. But if they're going to be giving us fights like this, we talking what, Billy Joe Saunders and Andrade, and they turn around and give us a unification fight between the winner of that fight and the winner of Jacobs and Deryevchenko, man, DAZN is starting to maybe be worth of a better conversation, if you will. See, like I always try to tell people, man, I'm not against the idea of DAZN. I'm just against the notion that they ain't giving or signed the fighters that I was hoping that they will sign. But, yo, man, Eddie, day by day, week by week, I'm hearing him make a little more better inroads, man. It's getting better and better every time. We seen Tevin Farmer just going over there too, man. So it seems to me that Eddie Hearn is doing a good job of signing a lot of the opponents that a lot of the other fighters want to fight. Maybe that's going to be the strategy that Eddie Hearn is looking to take. He says, you know, if I can't get, you know, Tank Davis, then I'll get Tevin Farmer, knowing that he wants to take on that fight and it'll be a big fight. You know, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So this is going to be interesting how this thing falls out, you know. And another thing I want to tell people, when, you know, if you got a problem with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, you know, I think people, I said this before in previous videos, we got to start to learn to separate the promoters and the top of the management away from the fighters. Because when you start doing that, you are literally cheating the fighters out of their glory, man. Just because they fight for a certain promoter, if they fight on a certain network, separate the fighters from that. Don't trash the fighter along with the network or along with the promoter. You know what I mean? That's not cool. Or I'm not going to watch this fight because it's on DAZN. Or I'm not going to watch this fight because he fights for Hearn. That's just retarded. That's when you're cheating the fighters, man. And that's something I just don't believe in. You know, I don't believe in cheating the fighters out. And I separate them heavily from their promoters, managers, or whoever the fuck. So, yeah, man, this is going to be an interesting fight. Looking forward to it, man. May the best man prevail. Good to see these two stepping into the ring with each other with other than, you know, the first time around, this time around, no hesitation, not giving giving us a bunch of polished shit. Two rival promoters bringing it together, and the winner of this fight can go on and possibly get a unification fight with the other fight, man. This is going to be a win-win-win if the Zone can pull this off successfully. But we'll see. So to the next video, Main Man Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus, Main Man Made Man. Hey, man, y'all tell, man, your man Boo Boo Andrade to take that outfit and bury that joint, man. Like, we don't want to see that no more, man. But, hey, man, I understand what he's trying to accomplish, man. But, you know, man, walking around looking like Pierre Lafont. Only thing he was missing was like a little beanie with the little dot in the middle or something, man. Or some Shakespeare type dude, man. Yo, that ain't a good look, bruh. And your homies need to tell you, man, to take that shit and throw it in the trash. Real talk. To the next video. Peace out.